So I was looking for another backpack because the zipper on mine broke, so I went up to the attic because I know there are backpacks there. I found the backpack that I used to use in middle school and all the papers were still in there. In 7th grade, we used to have to write a prompt on a random topic. Like, we would go around the room and each person would take turn picking the prompt for that day. This is where I wrote for some of them. And here's just a few disclaimers. I seem not to know the names of lots of ingredients. I am wearing a Baylor sweatshirt even though I go to UT. I apparently did not know what an adverb was. I also apparently questioned Miss Kirby's understanding quite often. Mrs. Kirby was my teacher's name. I refer to random other people too, most of whom I haven't spoken to in years. I also apparently was obsessed with dying, and I can neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of anything that I said. Please enjoy the next 18 minutes if you would like to sit here listening to me talk to myself. Slinkies. I haven't had a Slinky in like 5 years, and I'm sad. Because now I'm thinking about all the old toys I used to have, and it makes me wish I was 7 again just for one day. Slinkies are usually rainbow colored, and I guess they're made out of plastic. Really cheap plastic. Because when you try to make them slink down the stairs, they just fall in a heap. And then they end up breaking and aren't worth the $1 you spent on them. I guess if you buy metal Slinkies, they might work better, but I don't think it's worth it. Maybe I'll go out and buy everyone a Slinky as a graduation present. A Slinky is something I can actually draw. And I have drawn a Slinky right there. As you can see, I'm very talented. Hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is supposed to smell really good, but I think it smells bad. They sent them with weird things like strawberry or lemon, but that just makes them smell worse. My mom is obsessed with hand sanitizer and antibacterial stuff. We have strawberry stuff in our car that we use when we eat fast food. And we have one downstairs that I use when I don't want to wash my hands. I know, my family is kind of germophobic, but at least we won't get diseased and die. Hand sanitizer is on the school supply list, but hardly anyone actually uses it for its purpose. This school, according to Blake, should be closed because a lot of kids use it as a weapon, and it has a lot of alcohol in it. So technically it's an alcoholic beverage. Not really. Ryan Black uses hand sanitizer for amusement. He rubs it on his hands and then rubs it over a desk. Then your hands kind of bounce. It somehow doesn't work for me, but it works for him. Josh Barons used to put mountains of hand sanitizer on his hands just because he wanted to. Miss Gonzalez used to get mad at him, but I don't think she really cared. If you use hand sanitizer and you have a cut, you will probably scream really loud. So then you should sue the Purell company and say, "See, it burned me. That proves this has alcohol in it." And then they probably just throw you out. Stores sell hand sanitizer in little bottles for kids to take to school and hang on their keychains, but I don't think any kids actually use it. Some people think hand sanitizer is useless, but I don't think it's useless. Jalapenos. I love the word jalapeno because unless you're a Mexican, you won't say it right. Or like most people, you just say it wrong on purpose so you won't sound like something. I don't like jalapenos because they're too spicy and because I hate the way the seeds feel in your mouth. My grandma and the rest of my family has to eat them with everything, it seems, or they're not satisfied. I like the way they feel because they're really squishy, so you can play with them. But then, you get jalapeno juice all over your fingers and look like a stupid person. What? You'll rub your eyes and then scream really loud. Jalapenos come in a can and sometimes they have tomatoes and other junk in them too. They can be used to spice a variety of Mexican dishes, but I don't like them at all. I remember my grandma used to put chile on her cousin's fingers when they sucked their thumb, or in her mouth when she cussed. I don't know if that worked. My cousin's friend Maggie loves to eat chili and jalapenos with her bare hands. I don't know how she does that. Garlic. One time my parents and me watched Texas Country Reporter on TV, and there was this guy who grew garlic for a living. He would eat it just like that, which I think is kind of disgusting. I mean, I like garlic, but not by itself. So now because of that guy, I know there are many different types of garlic, most with Italian names that I can't remember. I don't know what other uses garlic has except for putting it on bread, but I bet there are lots of uses. Garlic is supposed to scare vampires, but I wonder if that's true. I've never known a vampire. Professor Quirrell wears a turban on his head that some people claim is filled with garlic. I guess that means he's afraid of vampires. But the poor guy had more to be afraid of than vampires. Garlic is something people don't think about a lot, because I think a lot of people don't like the taste and smell of garlic. Spaghetti. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew someone was going to ask how to spell spaghetti. Spaghetti is a food that comes in a lot of different varieties. Most of them have Italian names that I can't think of, but I know there are a bunch of names for spaghetti. And you'd go to some restaurant and ask, what the heck is that? And it's just spaghetti. I know there are about 1 million different kinds of spaghetti, and little kids, and some big kids, don't like to eat the green kind, but I think they all taste pretty much the same. When I eat spaghetti, I need to eat it very specifically. I need meatballs and plain meat sauce with no vegetables. The only thing allowed is minimal meat flavoring. On Halloween, you can use spaghetti to make a gross contraption. I don't really know what it's called, but it's disgusting. If you throw spaghetti on the wall and it sticks, you know it's ready. I love chicken parmesan, but only with lots of cheese and sauce on top. Some people say parmesan cheese smells like feet. I've said enough about spaghetti. Nothing. I picked nothing as a topic because most people will say there is nothing to write about nothing because it's nothing, right? But nothing has to be something because everything has to consist of something. Even in space, when you have empty space, i.e. nothing, you have something. The remnants of a star that went into supernova, or maybe something that's there but you just can't see. There could be some little life form there that's waiting to be discovered, and it feels sad because everyone thinks it's just nothing. In math, nothing can actually be something, because if you have 0 as an exponent, your answer will be 1, which is something. Nothing has 2 syllables, 7 letters, and is found in most dictionaries. It's found in some books and in a lot of other places. Nothing is everywhere. So even though nothing means the absence of something, if you really think about it, nothing can contain a lot of things. I love thinking about nothing as something. And besides, how can you say there is nothing in a place you have never been in? When you're gone, the place might be bustling with life, but then when you leave, it could be alive. It doesn't want you to know about its existence, so to someone on another planet, we are nothing. But yet we are something, so something is nothing. And if we are called nothing, then what is real? Does that make sense to you? Giraffes. Giraffes have very long necks and live in Africa. Does anybody except me find the following realization odd? In the United States, giraffes are kept cooped up and are mobbed by tourists in zoos. They should be paid to do that. But then, what would giraffes buy? They have no use for money. And yet, in Africa, giraffes just roam freely. They run right beside people and no one even seems to care. If they did that here, the headline would be Wild Giraffe Chase of 2007. And even if the giraffe didn't hurt anyone, it would scare them half to death and give them a heart attack. American and African giraffes are so different. It's amazing that they're the same species. It's kind of like people. I don't really have any words to describe giraffes, and you're probably sick of my aimless ramblings, so I'll stop talking about giraffes now. Lemons. Yes, Miss Kirby finally let us write about lemons. My friend Martha, also known as Monkey, calls me Lemon, and I have no idea why. Lemons are a very sour fruit. They have a cousin called lime. Lemons are in many drinks like lemonade, lemon juice, lemon Kool-Aid, which is pretty much the same thing as lemonade, and limeade. Even though I love lemons, I don't like any of the above-mentioned drinks. I do like lemon drops, though, Brock's lemon drops, but when I go to H-E-B, they never have them. And I look every time I go, even though I know nothing is there. And then I have to buy the regular lemon drops, which taste pretty much the same, but the bag is really boring. My mom always tells me not to run, cough, or talk with lemon drops in my mouth. And I tell her, I know. I am very skilled at not choking on lemon drops. When you go to restaurants, you get lemons in your water or soda. Do you realize that almost everyone takes them out? What lemon wasters? Lemony Snicket is the author of a book series with a very long title. Martha and I kind of want to kill him because we read 13 books, an autobiography, and a bunch of letters that had no meaning. My friend Lisa gave me these lemon crackers for my birthday. I haven't eaten them, but I put them on display in my room. Martha gave me this lemon flavoring stuff, which Sam said tasted terrible. Oh yeah, Ryan said it was terrible too. Lisa says lemons can be used to generate electricity, but I don't approve of killing lemons in that brutal way. I regret to inform Andrew Gouldy that lemons are yellow and not purple. Glue. Glue is a sticky thing that is also called an adhesive. If it's in a bottle, then the glue is white. If it's in a stick, then it may be purple or blue or some other color. If you touch your finger to the glue stick, it feels really good and cold. As long as you don't rub your finger across it, it won't get stuck. When kids are little, they eat glue, sometimes, and they don't get sick. That's why glue is non-toxic, because if it wasn't, our population would be a lot smaller. I'm so hilarious. Eyeball. Even though eyeballs look and feel disgusting, they are extremely useful. They allow you to see the world around you. Eyes can be many different colors, some beautiful and some rather boring. Everyone, or almost everyone, has eyeballs, but some people's don't work very well. They either have to wear glasses, poke their eyes while putting in a contact lens, or get laser surgery. Even though it's disgusting to think about eyeballs, they are a very important part of the world. Crayon. I love crayons. Crayons come in many different colors, some of them common and some of them rather weird, like macaroni and cheese. Crayons are useful but also really annoying. You have to sharpen them all the time and eventually they become naked crayons. They also break really easily. They have a very short lifespan. Even though crayons are useful, I like markers better. They are more reliable. Just gotta check my phone, Peanuts. I love peanuts. They are very crunchy and there are lots of different kinds like cashews, Spanish peanuts, and other ones whose names I don't know. But I always wonder if peanuts are good for you or not. Some people say they are because they have a lot of protein, but some people say they are bad because they are fattening and have a lot of salt. But I don't care. I love peanuts and I love lathering them in salt. Bubbles. My dog's name is Bubbles. I would tell you about her, but Mrs. Kirby says I can't write about her. How sad. Anyway, bubbles are little clear circular things that come in bottles. You get a stick and blow in it and out comes bubbles. Sometimes people have these humongous bubble machines and they blow bubbles that are bigger than your head. I love running around and popping bubbles. It's very entertaining. If I ever become president, I would write a bill that bubble catching would be an Olympic sport, and I would be a champion. The only other thing related to bubbles are people who have to live in air bubble things because they are allergic to air. That is very bad. I wish I had a bubble buddy. SpongeBob once had a bubble buddy and they were best friends. Maybe I would have had a better life if I had a bubble buddy. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Weird Al loves bubble wrap. Mrs. Kirby, did you understand that? I like bubble wrap too, I guess. It's fun to pop the bubbles, but then it's sad because the bubble dies. I wish I could blow bubbles with bubble gum. Martha always makes fun of me because I can't. This is so awesome. Jello. I don't really eat Jello that much. It's okay, but I really just like to play with it. Jello is really more like gelatin and it's translucent. It comes in many different flavors like cherry, orange, grape, and green Jello, whatever flavor that is. Some people say instant Jello tastes terrible, but I really can't taste the difference because I really don't like Jello. I just like how you can squish it and it bounces right back up. It just won't die! Did you know that Jello also makes pudding? We have a lot of Jello-based products in our house that we never eat. They probably feel really lonely. Shampoo. I can already tell this is going to be good. Shampoo is supposed to make your hair smell good, but I haven't really found many that smell very good. They all just smell artificial and are way too strong. Shampoo is necessary to your shower. I love lathering it up on my hair because I guess you could say I'm a bubble freak. But the bad part about doing that is that the shampoo gets in your eyes and burns. Andrew Gouldy says it will just go away, but I don't think it does. I usually just writhe in agony and pour water into my eyes until the stinging stops. And then after that, I wish all the shampoo would just die. Shampoo is a Japanese word, which may make sense to you and it may not. My friend Martha and I know that because shampoo is a character in a book that we read, except it's pronounced with a kind of Japanese accent. Shampoo is a girl from China who is in love with Ranma, but Ranma wishes she would just go away. I always wonder what shampoo is made of. I mean, I know there is an ingredient list on the back, but the names are so big that you still have absolutely no idea what's in the shampoo. I feel odd washing my hair with a completely random substance. Who knows what's actually in it? Internet. Mr. Bill says the internet is full of crap. And don't get mad at me for saying crap, Mrs. Kirby, because you said we could quote Mr. Bill. Darkmark.com is the homepage on my regular computer, and MuggleNet.com is the homepage on my laptop. I never know how to set up some website as my homepage until my dad told me how you go to edit, internet options, set as homepage. And then I felt like such an idiot. It drives me crazy when you try to go to some website and it doesn't work anymore and it said, this website cannot be accessed, and then you can't see the website anymore. One time, we were getting this new cable installed at our house and the people said it would take up to 2 weeks to install, which is completely preposterous. It ended up taking longer and I was going crazy using dial-up and I couldn't stand it. I always sign Martha's Pixo site and she never reads it. I write things that I find on the internet, like realize, 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 and they really make you think. Shots. Some people despise shots with a deep and cold passion, but I don't think they hurt that bad. If you convince yourself that something is going to hurt, it will hurt, but if you do the opposite, then the opposite will happen. Some people are just deathly afraid of needles. I'm starting a conspiracy that there really is no medicine in shots. The doctor just likes to poke you with big needles. But then I got a flu shot, and I haven't gotten the flu yet. Knock on wood. If you get cut by a barbed wire fence or something, then you have to get a tetanus shot so you won't die. You also have to get it every 10 years or something. Every time you go somewhere, people ask you for your immunization, which is a big word for shot, records. I guess they think we're diseased. My dad has to get allergy shots 2 or 3 times a week, and sometimes I go with him. I always look at the count for pollen and cedar and other stuff. They always have the wrong date, and there are a bunch of little kids that scream really loud. Aliens give you shots to suck your blood out so they can start a human race. So therefore, there may be humans on other planets. Shots have too many purposes, and some of them are fake, so I think they should just die. I wasn't gonna say that, but Matthew Finney told me to. Dreams. It is completely impossible for me to write about dreams, because then I would go on a very long-winded description of every dream I've ever had in my entire life, and that would take pages and pages, and I guarantee no one would read it. So, I will give you a little inkling of what some of my dreams were about. When I was little, I used to have the same dream every night about a circus, where I would crash through the wall. I still remember this. Then I dreamed I could drive my mom's car while sitting in the back seat. I also went to this school where everyone thought I was Harry Potter, but I knew I was me. Another dream is where I was in this big house with endless hallways, and I would just wander aimlessly around it, and for some reason the house was a school. 3 nights ago I had a dream that pianos were really colorful, and there was a girl named Julian, yes, a girl, who was teaching me to play colored pianos. 2 nights ago I had a dream that I went to the wrong elective at school, so then I went to the right one, and the science lab turned into a computer lab. I also had a dream yesterday, but I can't remember it because my mom woke me up. I hate that because that happens all the time, and I can never get back to sleep and finish the dream. Did you understand any of that? The zoo. Well, the zoo. A lot of schools take their classes on field trips to the zoo, which is kind of useless since everyone just looks at the animals, makes fun of them, and learns relatively nothing. Zoos are places infested with animals of all types, including elephants, lizards, otters, snakes, monkeys, rhinos, the occasional person who takes pictures of everything, and janitors who clean up various types of animal dung. If you go to the Fort Worth Zoo, you will see koala bears, which are not really bears. I've never been there, but I wish I could go. Seamus was singing the Zoo Pals song. Woof, woof, zoo pals, oink, oink, zoo pals make eating fun? Or something like that. I remember the zoo used to have machines to make clay structured things out of animals. I always liked them, but my parents said they were useless. I think someday we will all live in zoos in captivity and go crazy. Wait, we're already crazy. Oh, childhood. By the way, I would just like to inform everyone that I got straight A's in 7th grade, so, stuff is legit. Can't fit them in the folder.